When people think of Pittsburgh, they think of Mount Washington and the incredible incline, the Carnegie Museum with their wonderful dinosaur exhibit, Three Rivers, Carnegie Science Center, Heinz Field, where the Steelers call home. But this isn't the real Pittsburgh. We will show you a day in the life of a real Pittsburgher, as our tour shows you all you need to know about Pittsburgh. Let's call this South Side, North Side, Celebrity Beyond an Act, a New Yorker's guide to the real Pittsburgh. A typical day starts off at the local Eaton Park, where many breakfast smiles are consumed. Uh-oh, looks like he's got a phone call.
Sweetie, the blizzard's coming. I saw it on KDK TV. Need juice, bread, toilet paper as soon as you can. Hurry. Hello? Are you there?
You know what that means. Off the Giant Eagle. Time to pick up juice, bread, and toilet paper for the big storm. Urban legend has it that Giant Eagle and the local weathermen are in cahoots just to boost sales. Now that they are prepared for the blizzard of 2008, it's off to class. There are those unexplained mysteries. Bermuda has its triangle, Roswell has its UFO, and Pittsburgh has its tunnel gridlock. Dr. John Falcone, physics professor at CMU and government expert on traffic gridlock, explains.
In 2005, we did a two-part study. First, we looked at the velocities of cars that were entering the tunnel, and through our data analysis, we found that on average, they decreased their speed by about 18.7%. Additionally, we interviewed motorists to see if they could figure out why they were slowing down going into the tunnel, and the fear was of getting into an accident with the claustrophobic environment of a tunnel, which makes sense because with a linear moving body, the kinematics say that the total energy of the object is related to its potential energy, which is zero because it's on the ground, and the kinetic energy, which is related to 1/2 the mass times the velocity squared. So decreasing the velocity by a factor of 2 per se would really decrease the total energy of an accident by about 4.
That's hogwash.
Limo driver Jack Flick has been trying to avoid the tunnel for years and has his theories and expert opinion.
The people of Pittsburgh have a phobia about entering tunnels, and it is a nightmare. For whatever reason, I think it could be the ghost of Squirrel Hill. Somebody must have had a bad accident or whatever years ago. Now he lingers over Squirrel Hill. And you're going along at a pretty good rate. And right at the entrance of the tunnel, he temporarily blinds you. You cannot see, and you wonder what's on the other side. What happens is you have a gridlock. But once you get into the tunnel, it moves quite well. It's getting to the tunnel that's a problem. When I initially started this journey, I had dark hair. Now look what it's done to me.
Pittsburgh is well known for its hospitals, universities, and yes, of course, their grammar. Hometowners spend countless hours fine-tuning the art of Pittsburghese, working and practicing until they get it right. President of the Pittsburghese Institute, Dr. Stanley P. Kachowski, explains this pride of Pittsburgh.
Here at the Stanley P. Kachowski Institute, we bring people together from far and wide. We're teaching them Pittsburghese so they can communicate with us on a friendly level.
Downtown.
Downtown. I'm going downtown. I'll meet Jens downtown.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Worsh.
Worsh.
Yins.
Yins.
Yins,
Sandwich?
not yuns. That's an important
Sandwich.
thing to know. And that's kind of what we're doing here at the Institute.
Sandwich.
For instance, somebody from out of town might say, hey, Stanley, could I have a soda? I'll go,
Yins.
what's a soda? You mean a pop? That's what we call it here in Pittsburgh. See, that's just all communication. That's what we're doing, bringing people together to communicate. And you're going to learn that at the Institute.
Time for a quick bite to eat at Healthy Heart Magazine's #1 rated fast food stop in Pittsburgh, the O. Finally, it's time to arrive at work when they realize it's Monday Night Football Monday. Off to get a start on the big game, before they partake in a pre-game festivity, it's off to pay homage to Pittsburgh's most famous intersection. It's not Forbes and Grant, it's 10th Street and 2nd Avenue, the site of the big crash of 2006 when Big Ben struck one. No bike and its rider were talked about more in Pittsburgh like this since Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Dr. Joshua Dunkelbarger was the attending physician at the hospital who first worked on Ben Roethlisberger.
So I was on call that night and responded to the trauma page. I was surprised to see that it was actually a local celebrity here and one of our own Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger. His cervical spine was really under there and not very stable, so we put a collar on and stabilized that, addressed some of the nasal bone fractures and the frontal sinus. We addressed that as well, had him completely fixed up. But one of the things I noticed the most was a lot of bruising that he had, the biggest of which was the ego.
One of our crack Pittsburgh Eye reporters caught the accident on tape. Now, it's off to Southside. Southside, home of 42 bars, 37 restaurants, 33 bars, 21 coffee shops, 25 bars, 18 hardware stores, and 42 more bars. But our first stop, one of the oldest traditions in this neighborhood. Joe Levin is manager of the Southside Chair Store. Joe talks about the popularity of his store over the years and the variety of chairs used to save spots and how they differ.
The history of the parking chair is a long and storied one. I've made a lot of chairs that have been used to save spaces. Some of the more popular brands are the folding chair and the lawn chair. I have some new ones under development. Can't really talk about those. This one here, this is my favorite. This thing was big in the 70s and withstood anything that came at it. And it kind of actually connects to my original business, which I opened up in Morgantown, the Couch Shop.
It's off to the pregame tailgate. It's a Pittsburgh tradition to have a kielbasa sandwich and an ice-cold iron. It seems our friends don't have many friends. Oh well, it's game time. There's no better place to end a day or night than Permani's in the Strip District. Prosciutto, egg, and cheese, or the classic cheesesteak.
I've been here like 34 years. Yeah, that's how long I've been here. I made a big trillion sandwich.
Ah, fries on a sandwich. They taste just right. And by the way, another one of the healthy sandwiches recommended by Healthy Heart Magazine.
I like them all, really. But my favorite is strawberry.
And that's a day in the life during football season and a Monday night game of a real Pittsburgher.